Hey house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 17 updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Rob West. Rob is a big James fan. Hot dog sandwich. And he wants to know, what does Madrosed mean? That's such a great question, and before I explain it, I just want to say it is Madrosed, not Madrosed. A lot of people think that's what it is, but it's actually kind of like a nickname thing made up by my first name, middle name, and last initial. So like my name is Madeline Rose, so Mad Rose, and then D is the first letter of my last name. So that's what that's all about, but enough about me, let's talk about what's going on the feeds. So they had the Power Veto competition yesterday, Jason was the host, and the players were Vanessa, Becky, Clay, Shelly, Johnny Mac, and Liz, and they were all dressed up as squirrels, and it was everything I could have ever dreamed of. So it was some sort of athletic competition. There was throwing, there was catching, there was balancing. So Clay ended up winning. Was it a friggin' football competition? I mean, really. So remember how Becky was like really upset after they lost the Battle of the Block competition? That was like nothing compared to the level of upsetness after this POV loss. She was crying, like she was not taking it well at all. So Jackie and Johnny Mac were trying to comfort her and make her feel better, and Johnny Mac was just like, well, no one's gonna think you're a comp beast now, so you don't have to worry about that. He's great. So then everybody was like trying to reassure her, like Austin is going to be going up on the block next to you, and he's definitely going to be going home, so like just relax, don't freak out. Like panicking is the worst thing you could do when you're up on the block. So Becky is not just upset about this loss, she's also realizing that she's on the outside. She saw that like everyone was rooting for Clay to win, they were all hoping that he would win, and she feels like they wouldn't care if she went home by accident. Yeah, good morning. Welcome to the game. Where have you been? Seriously. Alright, so now that the Power Veto competition's out of the way, Vanessa decides it's time to let Liz know what Austin's been up to and how he's done wrong. So Vanessa's telling Liz, like, go get your makeup on and come back up whenever you can without Austin. So Liz is just like, oh my god, what is going on? So we'll come back to that. So Vanessa's up in the HOH room waiting for Liz. She's talking to Shelly, and she knows what's about to go down, and she's really nervous about them telling Liz about the potential backdoor Austin plan. She's freaking out a little bit because she's like, well, I heard that Austin and Liz kissed last night, so they're like really close right now, and Liz is definitely gonna tell him whatever we say, and Vanessa's like, no, Liz is not actually that into him, like don't worry about it, it's gonna be fine. So then Vanessa's like, well, Austin and Liz told me that you and Clay are worried that there's like this giant 6-person alliance coming after Clay. So Shelly's like, wait, what? Who's saying that? What's going on? So she starts freaking out, and she's thinking like, whoa, are people coming after Clay? So then she's like, do you think that Becky was trying to throw the Battle of the Block competition? Really? How could you say that after you saw how upset she was after? I mean, come on. So then Austin joins in the room, and Shelly's like, so are people coming after Clay? Like, what's going on here? What's with this alliance that we've heard about? And Austin's just like, oh yeah, I didn't actually hear anything for real about that. It's all just speculation. So they talk about how Becky and Johnny Mac were really upset when they lost the Power of Veto, and how that means that like they're coming after Clay. Maybe they were upset because they wanted to win, and like Becky wanted to save herself with the veto. I mean, come on. So then Vanessa brings up a very important thing. She's like, Austin, do you know who voted for Audrey to stay last week? And Austin's just like, it wasn't me. I have no idea who it was. That's a lie. That's a freaking lie. Not only does he know who did it, it was him! He lied! So then Austin goes downstairs and talks to Liz, and he's just like, crap, Vanessa's asking about the Audrey vote, like I need you to cover for me to Vanessa. And Liz is just like, I don't want to lie to Vanessa. I don't want to do it. No, I'm not going to lie to her. So then Austin is like, well, it's not really lying because Judas did it. Alright, moving on. So it's time for the all-important chat. So Vanessa, Shelly, and Liz were up in the HOH room, and Vanessa starts telling Liz all about Austin's conversation with Jason and how he outed the twins to him, and Liz is just like, yeah, I knew he was going to do that. Like, he told me about it beforehand. He was trying to protect me and Julia because Jason was on to us. And then Liz is just like, I want to tell you guys right now, like, I'm not interested in Austin in that way. So, like, just relax. And she also said Julia does not trust him at all. Gee, I wonder why. So Vanessa's like, well, that makes sense because Austin wants to split you two up so that he's alone with you in the jury. And Liz is just like, that's disgusting. So then Liz, she spills some info. She's just like, you know, like the vote to keep Audrey last week, that was Austin. And she also tells them that Austin wanted her to lie for him. So they're just like, but even after that, Liz is still campaigning for Austin. She's like, even though he messed up, he's still a vote for us. Like, we need the numbers right now. So then the conversation kind of shifts gears for a little bit, and Shelly reveals that the diary room has kind of been putting some doubts in her head as to whether or not people are honestly trying to protect Clay or if they're coming after him. So then she starts saying that Becky kind of has to go this week. What? So it sounds like Shelly is majorly being influenced by the DR right now. It sounds like she wants to keep Austin because she thinks that once Austin is gone, Clay is like one of the biggest targets because he's like super athletic, whatever, muscle guy. So it seems like the DR is really getting into her head. And Vanessa kind of seems into this plan too. She's like, you know what, maybe we should get rid of Becky. Maybe I will give Austin another chance to tell the truth. What? Vanessa's the one who's always like, oh, this person lied to me. No, you gotta go home. Even if they lied about like what they ate for breakfast, I feel like that would be the reason if Vanessa already had that in her head. So it seems a little hypocritical, but I'm just saying. So then Austin and Vanessa were chatting up in the HOH room. Austin comes clean about the vote to keep Audrey. He's like, yes, I voted for her to stay. I lied about it. I screwed up. I'm sorry. So he's like, I really was trying to help. I was trying to cast that vote to set up Steve to look like America's player just in case we weren't in power this week. So Vanessa starts like crying. She's all upset. She's just like, you lied to me. So then Vanessa tells him like straight up, you were the backdoor target this week. Notice she said, were? So she's like, yeah, I'm under a lot of pressure right now. I made a lot of promises to people that you were gonna go up. I told a lot of people that they were safe this week. So she's like, I'm really gonna need a reason to get rid of Becky or somebody else this week. So Austin is like begging Vanessa to keep him safe this week. He's like, please don't put me up. I was stupid. I'm falling in love with Liz and I made a mistake, blah, blah, blah. So then he starts throwing Jason under the bus for leaking that conversation that they had, which makes no sense to me because wouldn't Vanessa be happy that Jason gave her this information? Like, wouldn't she be happy that he felt like he could go to her and share that? Whatever. So then Austin starts going on this like apology image cleanup tour. So he goes to Shelly and Clay, he goes to Jason, he goes to Meg, and he's just like, I was falling in love with Liz, and I just like, my head wasn't in the game for a little bit, like I'm falling in love with this girl, and I don't even need to win the money, like I just want to make it to jury so badly, and keep me in the game, and yada yada blah. And then he's like, I have this Big Brother tattoo, I can't go home before jury. No one cares about your freaking Big Brother tattoo. No. So then Shelly, Clay, and Vanessa were chatting up in the HOH room, and these numbskulls decide that they want to keep Austin. They're like, oh, he's just an idiot in love. He's also a number for us, so we should keep him. I want to scream right now. So Vanessa was then talking to Jackie, and she's still playing it up like she's nominating Austin this week, when in reality, she's actually even considering nominating Jackie against Becky. It just seems so messed up, because she and Jackie agreed that they would not backdoor each other this week. It's just like, what is going on. And I felt like Jackie was like really cool with her this week, so I'm kind of like, what? So then let's talk about Jason and Meg for a minute. I need to like cleanse my palate. So those two decided to finally like formally come up with an alliance, just the two of them. I mean, it's obvious that they're really close, but they decided to really, you know, solidify that. So they decided they're going to call themselves the Goblins, which is an interesting choice because I know that Jason also watched Big Brother Canada. So like Big Brother Canada 3, Ashley and Peely were known as the Goblins. Is that really what you want? So, last night the live feeders voted for the house guests to get a hula hoop to play with. Yay! The excitement didn't last very long, but it was fun for like 20 minutes or whatever. So moving on, this morning, Austin was like creeping around, trying to listen in on conversations, standing next to doors, all because last night Vanessa told him like, you need to fix this, you need to fix it. So she wants him to find like empirical evidence, Audrey, that somebody lied to her so that she'll have a reason to put somebody else up and keep Austin this week. So Austin goes and talks to Vanessa and he's like, yeah, I heard Becky, Jason, and all of them talking about Steve and how they were trying to give him advice and coach him on how they can work together with him. So Vanessa's like, well, maybe I can use that. We'll see. Try to get something better for me. So then Vanessa and Steve were chatting in the HOH room, and Vanessa starts asking him about this advice that the others were giving him, and he's just like, yeah, they just basically told me, like, stop eavesdropping, and if I walk in and people are talking, I should, like, join in on the conversation instead of just standing there like a weirdo. So I feel like that's what they've been saying to him all season. Poor Steve. So then Vanessa tells Steve she has a new plan to find the reason. So she goes back to the Kathy Griffin takeover week with the last laugh twist, and she's starting to think that Jason was lying about Day having the last laugh power. She says it just doesn't make sense with the votes that were nullified that Day would have that power, but she totally did. So she thinks that Jason was lying about that, and she also thinks that Becky and Jason were the two votes to keep Jeff the week that he was evicted. No, the two votes were Steve and Liz. Imagine that. So then Vanessa's like, yeah, I'm going to talk to each of them separately. I'm going to try and catch them in a lie about that, and whoever squeals about it first is going to be safe this week. Whoever lies is going to go up on the block. They didn't vote for him. So then you could tell, like, Steve was freaking out because he was one of those votes. So he starts to say, like, I have to tell you something. I lied. And I thought he was going to be like, I voted for Jeff to stay, but he was like, I lied about something from my real life. I can't tell you about it on the feeds, but I'm going to tell you. So I wonder what it is. It's kind of mysterious. Leave in the comments what you guys think it is. But anyway, the power veto ceremony is tomorrow. It's not really clear who Vanessa's going to put up in, I was going to say Shay, in Clay's place. It could be Jackie, it could be Jason, I don't know. I'm not happy with it though. I was really hoping that Austin was going to go this week, but it seems like Big Brother was not happy with that, so they had to flip the script. But who's going to be cursed by the reason next? It should be interesting to see how Vanessa's investigation goes, and I'll have that for you guys tomorrow. So until then, much love. Edit.